Colonel love it when plan come together.
You bet he does.
Well, kids, 1983. Why don't you? A really shit TV British show for kids back in the day, but I like to favor the American stuff way more instead. The A-Team, and of course, Fraggle Rock, and oh, who could forget this classic right here? The Fall Guy with Heather Thomas.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell.
Well, that was a private moment, folks, never to be shared with you, but that was a purely unintentional, unadulterated moment. Oh, don't mind me in my snuggly wuggly Deadpool snuggleware, because I absolutely love the snuggles. By the way, wasn't that a thing back in the 80s, the snuggles, or am I thinking of something else? Come on, come on. Yep, there we go. Perfect. I like it. I like it a lot. So, ladies and gentlemen, Stranger Things Season 5. Let's address the controversy quite quickly because I'm dying to get into this. Now, I've actually got Season 1 here. Funny enough how I held it upside down at the beginning of, because, you know, our favourite teenagers are stuck in the upside down and on the right way up. But Season 5 has had some controversy. The opening 5 minutes of Season 5, you have Will, you know, our introverted homosexual teenager who's 16 in 1983. Homosexuality, an abomination in the eyes of the Lord and our King Jesus Christ. Or should that be abomination? For my American viewers, bum is an affectionate nickname for ass, men who love each other's asses.
Not for a minute. You're under the gun, so you take it on the
At the beginning of this, he's in the upside down and suddenly he's running away from the forest that's come alive because Vecna, the god of the upside down, is after him. Now, when he does capture Will and holds him hostage against his will, I know that's a very terrible pun, he summons all these tendrils or tentacles from the forest to ensnare Will and then proceeds to gag him with one of the tendrils and looks like he's enjoying it, which is really absolutely disturbing imagery. And people are in an uproar about this. I completely agree. I'm a kid of the 1980s. When I was watching things back in 1983, and here's a flashback for you folks, what programs we enjoyed back then.
Get your cares away. Worries for another day. Let the music play. Down in Fraggle Rock.
Here we go.
Let's go see the movie.
There's a movie?
Ah, the good old days. And now it seems the Duffer Brothers, the people behind Stranger Things, and by the way, weren't they sued or are still being sued by someone who claimed that they ripped off their initial idea? So who knows how that's going, but these guys should be held accountable for what we just saw on the screen there, because the implication is you got Vecna, this adult male, preying on a much younger kid who's below the age of 18. Some parents are rightly concerned about this. I don't blame them. If I was a parent and my kid watched this, I too would be thinking, what the hell is this, bro? It's absolutely disturbing imagery, and I don't know why they're even throwing the line where Vecna says, "You and I, will be doing some very beautiful things together." It's really seedy, actually, and some responsibility, it shouldn't really fall on the actors who take on these roles. It's more to do with the writers behind the scenes. But the Hindustan Times ran an article calling this shit out, quoting Jack Prosobiec, I think that's how you pronounce the guy's name. He's a conservative activist fella, if you know what I mean, who has constantly attacked Netflix for their, and I hate to use the word, woke content. And in this case, it feels absolutely justified. I mean, if you go on Twitter, people don't seem to have much of a concern about it at the moment. They're actually quoting the fact that a NES game that was being played on TV is actually not there at the time of 1983, something like that. But the actual person, I'll put the screenshot up here for you, but the person that watched it couldn't handle the fact that the people behind Stranger Things got it all completely wrong and don't respect what came before us. Now listen, Cobra Kai, I would say, is the one show that isn't woke. You know, you got a character like Johnny Lawrence, who is still a kid of the 80s and brings that to a modern day setting. When I watched the original series of that, when it was the YouTube Red series, and it was Cobra Kai seasons 1 and 2, before season 3 got picked up by Netflix, at that point I was getting a little bit worried that Netflix will go in there and F that one up too. But thankfully the guys behind that particular series have obviously said, no, you're not doing that at all. Thank God for Johnny Lawrence, my hero, my savior. Yeah, he's a white guy, but I find him totally relatable. Has all those 80-isms that I absolutely love, which I have never let go of myself.
Our new female champion.
Hi. My pronouns are she, her.
The only pronouns we accept in this dojo are sensei and student.
Here we are, folks. We're talking about a show that's meant to respect nostalgia, but instead it actually throws insult in your face, because guess what? Although it's a 1980s show bringing back those feels, we're also introducing a brand new generation who were never born then, and we're putting in weird, idyllic, strange, deeply disturbing imagery into a fictionalized world that we've reimagined, because that's what reimagining is, folks. Shoving in weird ideological garbage into a show that shouldn't have these sort of things at all. We know that Will is a very closeted gay man in Stranger Things, but of course that also reflects into real life, because the gentleman himself, Noah Schnapp, is also a hooty tooty fruity who's in love with the character Mike Wheeler, played by the guy that's got a really cool name called Wolf Finhard, who has the fittest mum on the TV series, Mrs. Wheeler, as played by Cara Bueno. Buenos Aires, señorita. But anyway, the reason why I bring that up, because I think it's in the 4th episode, which I've not watched, by the way, because I gave this opening and the whole series 5 of Stranger Things the big thumbs down on Netflix. But there's a moment where he lets his feelings be known to Mike, or tries to imply it. But guess what? The feelings are not reciprocal. Oh, never mind. And who comforts Will? That's right, Maya Hawke's character, because she too is gay. And I guess the two gays can go away and slay for another day. If you were around in the 80s like I was, everything was a far different climate. Everything seemed quite whimsical, wonderful, intriguing. Do you know what I mean? But now, when I watch something like this, I mean, season 1 of Stranger Things is fantastic. Season 2 is alright. 3 I do like, especially with the PTSD of Jim Hopper cosplaying as Magnum PI. I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
Because I just don't care. Now, if you don't mind, I really am rather busy. Operating director.
But here I am, folks, making this video regarding the, I don't even know if it's a controversy at the moment, but I got to make a video to highlight it, because I was deeply disappointed. And also more female girl bosses within our groovy gang. I mean, Scooby and Shaggy, Velma, Wilma and Freddy.
Oh, brother.
I know they split up, but they were always a cohesive gang, weren't they? They always solved the crime at the end of the day. And on that one, ladies and gentlemen, if you were me, and if I were you, you should definitely let me know your thoughts and feelings about the opening of Stranger Things Season 5, which, by the way, has dragged out the old carcass of Linda Hamilton to be in this series. My God, can't you give that woman a break and let her do something else in the meantime? Catching me for the return of the next video.
Somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances.